Does this outfit look familiar? This is the same thing I wore last time I took you over my knee and spanked your bottom with some discipline. And I'm happy to report that these are back in stock and a lot more at moistglobal.com. Last time I talked about you, I used you for a merchandise push as well, so might as well stick with tradition. I bet just seeing me in this attire again has just sent you on a full-blown Winter Soldier episode with your eyes rolling into the back of your skull as you're experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder, because the first video I made on you offended you to such a high degree that you have not stopped whining since. It's already been 3 months, can you believe that? How time flies.
Yeah, I feel like this has gone on for a while. Now that I think about it, yeah, this has been an ongoing situation.
You started shit with me by insulting me and my girlfriend out of nowhere, so naturally I responded by...
Wait, why did he insult him and his... Why did that even happen? No one knows. Okay.
Making fun of you in return, and showcasing the reasons why I don't respect you. But unfortunately, I failed to calculate just how much of a sensitive fucking loser you are, because this hurt your feelings to such a high degree it's become like an Armageddon in your brain. 3 months you have continued to melt down about this. The day after I posted my response, you went on stream and had a huge, unhinged tantrum and melt-
Isn't it crazy, like, I'm not on this list? Because I'm pretty sure I talked about this dude before, but I never make the list of all the bad guys. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Down about the whole thing, and then he sent some of his viewers over. So I was joking with them, saying like, oh, you guys must have just stopped the cuties watch party over there at Sneako's stream, right? Welcome, cucks, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it got really under his skin in a big way, so he started dancing around with a gun and threatening to come shoot me. So he kept saying, oh, you're in Tampa, right? I'll come see you, waving his gun around and dancing.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching, you were?
Now the reason he keeps...
I feel like that's like an officer wellness check situation. You know? Like, I think this is 100% a wellness check situation. Am I crazy?
Saying watch my clips while threatening me here is because during the stream I couldn't watch him live because he just kept shouting slurs. So I said watch my clips to see what I was saying about you. I had to communicate via Twitch clips. And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also
cool. Is that real?
a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here. Anyway, sorry
Yeah, but the thing is, they say clips in the rap songs. That's the difference. So of course he's gonna say that. Yeah, that's in the rap songs. What do you mean?
for the gun
Yeah, so it must be true.
He was very upset, so he was threatening to come shoot me, beat me up, all of that, because I hurt his feelings, and it's been festering for quite some time now.
Oh my god.
3 fucking months. You love to bitch about how everyone's canceling you. These soy boy NPC bots are all canceling you. It's all you do. You treat the teenagers in your Discord like they're your goddamn therapist. Just going in there to complain about the invisible boogeyman canceling you again, shaking your fist at the clock.
I feel like I hear about Sneako pretty regularly. I mean, he's got Twitter, he streams. I mean, he doesn't stream on Twitch. I think he streams on, like, Rumble or some shit like that. But other than that, I feel like, I mean, he's on Twitter. It's not that canceled.
I also love that you treat this Discord server like it's your PR team, so you have them work on your responses.
Quick, I need a response. Go to memes. Oh my god. This guy is outsourcing memes to a Discord for 14-year-olds. God damn. That's sad. He can't come up with a good one on his own. So he's asking the viewers to do it for him.
on Twitter because you're not witty enough to come up with anything on your
Yeah,
own.
exactly.
You have no ability to banter. You can't insult anyone. Anytime you're pushed, all you fall back on is one of three things: soy boy, bot, or NPC, and that's it. You never deviate from this path, which is ironic because you're like literally a sheep. You have 3 programmed responses. You're like the absolute worst character, side character in an MMO. It's pathetic. But
yeah, I think this is true too. I think there's a lot of people who think that everybody else is an NPC, but they're just an NPC of another faction. And they just never really seem to realize this. Because they have the exact same type of responses to things, but it's just the opposite response. And if you have the opposite programmed response, it's still a programmed response.
I'm getting sidetracked. You love to be super public about how much you hate antidepressants and you shit on anyone who takes antidepressants.
Okay.
But with the way you talk in your Discord server, I'm pretty convinced that you're only 2 or 3 messages away from asking your community to source antidepressants for you under the table to help with all this mental anguish you're going through.
What the
And I
fuck?
think that'd honestly be a good idea. It might help you. But I'm putting the cart.
I think that the guy just needs to get off the internet. Like, somebody pulls it. I mean, like, the thing is, like, if you pull out a gun about a YouTube situation, about a Twitter scuffle, you need to talk to somebody. You gotta take a step back. You gotta talk to somebody. You gotta relax, man. You gotta just take a step back, get off the internet, go walk around the neighborhood, go lay down for a while, just chill out. Yeah, like that's unhinged behavior. That's weird. It's like anytime, like, I feel like one thing that, like, always fucking, like, it weirds me out, it makes me, it's unsettling, is whenever I know I'm dealing with a person who's unstable. And fundamentally, it seems like the Sneako guy is unstable. I hate that. Because you never know what somebody like that's going to do.
For the horse here. How did we get to this point? Well, I made that video about Sneako, and I fully planned on that being the only time I ever talked about this asshole. I really did. All I wanted to do was highlight why I personally don't respect him. I know a lot of people criticize me for not tackling his points, and to that I say, bah humbug, this fucking goober didn't make any points. All he did was insult me and my girlfriend. He insulted me and my girlfriend because
I think... Wait.
I made fun of one of his friend's blatantly fake stories. He resorted to childish name-calling like, I'm ugly, and I don't...
Yeah. Like, to me, if somebody, like, this is what I said before, right? If somebody puts, like, a personal insult, like, on your appearance and shit like that, if they put that inside of their criticism of you, just throw the whole thing in the garbage. Throw it away. It's irrelevant. Because the reason why they really don't like you is because of, like, some other bullshit. You're never gonna, like, it's not real. It's not legitimate.
Go outside. That's not making any points. Like, what am I supposed to debunk there? No, actually, my mom thinks I'm handsome, and so does my girlfriend, so you're wrong. Factually wrong. There's
There you
nothing to
go.
debunk. The whole point of the video was highlighting why I don't respect him. I'll go ahead and briefly give you a previously on Dragon Ball Z lore recap
Okay,
to
let's hear it.
bring you up to speed on the points I was making for why I think he is a pathetic piece of shit, and his opinion holds no value in my eyes.
Okay.
Is because he publicly defends Cuties as one of his favorite movies. Cuties was a Netflix film that used real child actresses in sexual situations, so they sexualized real children. A fact that Sneako himself acknowledges, but writes off as being okay because it's realistic, because in the real world children get sexualized. I'll say it again.
Maybe it's not just the police that need to do a wellness check. Maybe it's the FBI too.
Again, regardless of what the intention of the film was, they missed the mark because what ended up happening is they sexualized the child actresses. That is a problem. Full stop. Even if the
I watched the trailer on this. I don't even know if I finished the trailer. This shit made me uncomfortable. It was weird. Like, I don't know how you can even be on the other side of that.
message was supposed to be the opposite, they still ended up contributing to the very problem they were speaking out against.
I saw Cuties last night and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I went in ready to hate like everybody else. I saw the cover and I got clickbaited. So did you got clickbaited. The thing about Cuties is it's not an unrealistic film. Like, yes, it shows children in a sexual way, but this is not unusual now. And the people who are really mad about this aren't Gen Z.
Imagine
It's just I think that's such a dumb perspective to have, and like here's why, is that it's no. This is what it was, right? Is like, so here's what he's saying. Is he's saying that like the point of the movie was not about sexualizing the young actresses. But it doesn't matter because it happened anyway by the nature of creating the content. So like what he's saying is that the movie wasn't about sexualizing them, but he doesn't understand the fact that even if it's not about that, it serves the same purpose. I think that's kind of what happened.
Blaming children in sexual positions is clickbait.
And that is also, by the way, that's the most charitable reading I can give him for that.
Yikes. That's rough. You admit that the children were sexualized. That is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? That means the movie failed in its mission. I don't know what you don't get about that. But regardless, I'm not here to just keep hammering home the same points. Another thing that I talked about for a reason I don't respect him is because he battles with his own sexuality. He is very public about how he used to go to these swinger parties. I think he says 4 in total over the course of like 2 weeks, where he watched his girlfriend get fucked by other men. Even telling the story of how he was literally in the bed watching his girl get fucked by a different man, moaning intensely, and it was traumatizing. Yet he recommends that everyone should try it at some point for some reason.
Because this was imagine seeing the girl you love like
get fucked.
You love her? Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, I love her. I was about to say I love this bitch. I'm like, no, let me not say that. I love my wifey, my queen.
And you allowed the love of your life to get fucked by another man.
What happened to the other?
I'm crazy.
The first time, as soon as I saw it, like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out. I'm just like, I can't do that. Like, feeling traumatic thoughts, like seeing her with another person. It's a lot. But I think it's something everybody should do just to test. No! You know what?
So my point with this was,
I mean, I don't think that everybody should do it, but I think if he wants to do it, that's fucking fine. I don't have a problem with this dude and having problems with his sexuality. If this dude doesn't know what his dick wants, that's not my problem. I don't care. Am I crazy? Like, I don't care. Here's where I'm at. Is that as long as it's consensual, I don't kink shame. I don't give a fuck if you're into cuck shit. You're into femdom? Great. You're into femdom? Great. You're into feet? That's nice. Just keep it away from people that don't consent to it. I don't care if you're a cuck. I don't think it's a big deal. Problem is, he refers to people he disagrees with as cucks and takes on the tape mentality, so it's a contradiction. The reason why it's a contradiction is that a lot of the people that are into this kind of stuff, that I've seen at least, have like some form of, there's like a humiliation fetish that's built into the proclivity of liking being cucked. So he knows that about himself, and the humiliation to it could be appealing to him. Yeah. Look this shit up. Like I told you guys, I spent 20 years on the internet. Okay? I've learned some things in that time. Some things you don't want to learn. But yeah, he needs to be honest about it then. He can't because he hates himself for it. That's why. There's a lot of gay guys that are like that too, or guys that are bisexual. It sucks. I don't know what you can do to help somebody like that, but I mean, I don't know. It sucks.
Why is this the guy that's lecturing everyone on their relationships, shitting on people's relationships, when he himself is in one that makes him very upset and he can't come to terms with it?
That's a very good point. Like, this is actually an incredibly good point. It's not even about whether being a cuck is a good or a bad thing. It's about the fact that, like, he shits on other people for something that he does constantly. And it's like, okay, well, like, Oh, yes, but no. It's like you can have a fat doctor tell you to lose weight, but it doesn't really count as much. You know, like a doctor that's smoking. It's like, yeah, sure, but like, fucking clean your own backyard first before you start looking into everybody else's. Sure.
Now, if he's open about being a cuck and happy and proud to be a cuck, that's fine.
My man.
But he's not.
Yeah,
it makes him mad every single time. So why?
All I'm saying is I think that interaction is part of the stimulation. I mean, this is, again, fucking armchair psychologist, but from what I've read many times online over the years, I think it's part of the stimulation.
Why the fuck is this insecure guy the one that's the moral authority on healthy relationships all of a sudden? That was the point of me bringing up that clip.
Yeah.
Now, it's
like me giving tips on, like, all right, guys, to eat a balanced diet, the first thing you want to do is you want to have salads every day. It's like, yes, but okay, we want to hear this, but not from you.
That was basically the whole video. I summed it up real quick. All I pointed out is I don't respect his opinion because he defends a movie I consider to be child porn. I think any film or any production that has real children being sexualized should be classified as child porn. That's how I view it. Maybe your definition's different, but
it's not. Good. Totally agreed.
That's how I personally view that kind of content. So him defending that was beyond reprehensible to me. And him being very public with his...
Yeah, well, again, like, Sneako is, like, very much one of these, like, anti-cancel culture people. So he'll always take the side of the media that's being viewed badly. So he thinks that he's having some sort of, like, really high IQ take for understanding that the purpose of the movie was not to sexualize the child actors. But, again, it doesn't matter because it served that purpose anyway. So I think that's what happened.
Cuckoldry and how scarring it has been, it should be a lesson and an example that he himself is not great when it comes to relationships and all these things. And I posted that and it made him extremely upset and he hasn't stopped fucking crying about it for 3 months. So, fast forward to 2 days ago. I was streaming a Moist Esports tournament and I went up to go to the bathroom. I had to take a shit. It was a double flusher. So I was on the toilet for quite some time. And I saw a Sneako post that he's posted quite a few times now, and I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing anything else right now on the porcelain throne. I'll play in the pig pen. So I did. For 3 months now, Sneako's had this adorable little collage that he made that looks like it's straight out of a...
So he just went in... So this is like, yeah, I'll do this whenever I'm sitting in the bathroom or I'm just laying in bed and I'm bored. I'll go make somebody mad. Yeah, sure.
16-year-old girl's diary with pictures of boys from her class that she doesn't like. All about people that have hurt his feelings. This is his wall of shame for people that have insulted him online. What's even sadder about it is he purposely leaves out people that he's afraid of. So Turkey Tom, for example, made a whole video talking about Sneako and how pathetic he is. And Sneako tried to talk a big game to him, even challenged him to a debate, which Turkey Tom accepted with jubilation. He was ecstatic. Yeah. And then Sneako kept ducking him, ghosting him. So he leaves Turkey Tom off of this list because he's afraid to actually talk to him. And he also leaves off quite a few other people, but the most notable other one that is comical for the absence is Brandon Buckingham. Brandon Buckingham is an internet content creator that Sneako lied about for a long time, and they had a lot of beef, and Brandon Buckingham actually challenged him to a fight. And Sneako is very fearful of him. We'll get into that in...
Well, the reason why is that the first guy, the Tom guy, it looked like he didn't even have a picture of himself. So it's like a lot of Sneako, like his insults are just based off of physical appearance. So if you don't have a picture to go off, I don't know, maybe Turkey Tom does have pictures. It's just the first one didn't. So maybe that's a reason. And also, yeah, I mean, this is the kind of, like, there's a lot of guys out there, and this is kind of something that usually most people grow out of whenever they're in, like, middle school. Especially whenever, like, you see, like, a fight in, like, middle school or, like, early high school is, like, totally different than a fight between, like, adult men at, you know, like, downtown. Because fights between two adult men or multiple adult men is fucking scary. It's really fucking scary whenever something like this happens, because you don't know what's going to happen. A knife could come out, a gun could come out, somebody could fucking die, and you're just right there in front of it. And it is terrifying. So this is probably somebody who hasn't really been around a lot of fights that have happened past the age of, like, I'd say 14 or 15. So he views everything through the lens of, could I beat this person up? Does this person look like a person I can beat up? And, like, that's his gauge for things.
We'll get into that more in depth in a moment, but I just need to set the stage a little bit here with this collage. So after seeing this for the 100th time in the last 3 months, I finally just said, holy shit, you pathetic, sensitive soy little worm. I made fun of you for watching your girlfriend get fucked by numerous other men and also insulted you for defending child porn. That's not cancellation. That's just spitting on you for being a pitiful, sad cuck.
Yeah.
And this puppy really blew up on Twitter in a big way.
People like that.
Now, I will say it again. What I did and what I am doing right now is not canceling you, Sneako. I am insulting you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't see why, like, you're not getting like, nobody's saying that you can't upload to YouTube. They're not saying that you have to be, nobody's advocating for you to get banned on Twitter. People are just saying that what you're saying on Twitter is dumb. What's the problem with that?
Making fun of you. Something that you were supposed to be a huge proponent of.
I didn't do that.
Right? Wasn't like one of your big things like bullying needs to be brought back.
Yeah.
So now that I'm making fun of you, what, all of a sudden now it's off limits, now it's canceling?
Of course, because it's happening to him. Like, this is like, again, like, people have way too high expectations for other people online. Everybody only wants to do what's beneficial for them, and the moment that it's not beneficial is the moment they stop doing it.
You have become the SJWs that you criticize so much. I don't know how you don't realize that. We continue. Yeah. He says, you know in your soul you would never say that to my face. To which I respond, you literally have a collage of people that hurt your feelings on the internet. You haven't stopped whining about me for months now, you goofy NPC. Even if you beat my ass in a fight, it doesn't change the truth. You're still a cuck who also defends child porn.
Well, I like the implication that, like, if you say that to his face, he's just gonna punch you. Well, what do you think happens after that? Like, you go to jail, you spend, like, millions of dollars in legal fees, you look like an idiot. Like, so, yeah, what do you think happens? Like, do you think that it's just like, oh, you punch him and it's this, like, honorable combat among men? No, this is not the way the world works. You can't just have people going around punching each other whenever they get their feelings hurt. What is this? Yes, a trial by combat. What do you think's going to happen?
I think this is important to talk about, and I just talked about it recently. When you are getting your feelings hurt and your immediate response isn't to fire back with insults, jokes, whatever, it's to challenge someone to a fight, you've taken a huge L. You've shown that the person has got under your skin, and the only thing you can resort to is a caveman brain of, I'll beat you in a fight. Sneako, you beating me in a fight doesn't unfuck your girlfriend from the numerous men that had sex with her in front of you. It doesn't do anything. Everything I've said still stands.
Yeah, this could also be a thing where, like, he's trying to assert himself as, like, you know, he's trying to overcome this. Something like that, you know?
Nothing changes. It doesn't even salvage your ego. All it is a pathetic fucking attempt at attention. And I don't think you believe half the things you talk about. I really think Sneako just panders as much as possible. He himself doesn't even stand by the things he talks about. I really don't think he has any beliefs of his own. He just echoes what he thinks is going to get him the biggest audience / the most money.
I think that he's, I think Sneako is one of these people that kind of got alienated by mainstream culture. And then somewhere in the alienation process, they got so radicalized that anything that is counter to the norm is something that they dislike. So anytime that there is a mainstream opinion, they have the opposite opinion. It's like they've been reversed programmed. So, like, instead of agreeing with everything that the mainstream media and the pre-approved commentary comedians have to say in late night shows, instead of agreeing with all that, you just disagree with all that. And again, the difference between, like, being a contrarian and being a sheep, there isn't one. Because both of them are fundamentally programmed by something that's outside of your own fucking thinking. And so I think that's kind of what, that seems like the guy he is.
That's what I think. So this puffing out his chest to challenge me to a fight is clearly attention. That's what it feels like. Because you don't have the same energy for Brandon Buckingham. Brandon Buckingham is more than willing to fight you any day of the week. But with him, you don't want to do that. for some reason.
I wonder why.
Do you not stand by your beliefs when it comes to Brandon Buckingham? He has said all the same things about you that I am saying about you.
Well, because you're going to lose the fight. The guy's a professional fighter. I mean, the reason why, like, I mean, Charlie's not a big guy, right? I mean, he works out. I've seen pictures of Charlie. This guy actually fucking, bro, he looks good. Like, I was impressed. I didn't even notice. But, like, he's not a professional fighter. You know? Like, that's, like, you're not going to get in the ring against a professional fighter and win. So, of course, he's not going to challenge the other guy because he'll fucking lose. It's that simple.
So why is he exempt? Why don't you want to fight him? That's so weird. This is what you said about Brandon Buckingham and fighting him.
And then finally, when Brandon Buckingham is down to meet Sneako, he's there to box him. They're both similar sizes. Sneako would now rather just sit at home and tell jokes behind his computer.
I'd rather sit at home and yell at a camera, tell jokes than, risk my manhood falling flat for Brandon Buckingham, if I lose the fight.
So now it's suddenly...
Well, again, yeah, exactly. It's all about his ego. Because he knows it's not really a risk. He knows it's going to happen. And it's not even it's not a slight at Sneako that he would lose a fight to a professional fighter. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's a taxi driver, I bet they're a better driver than me. If somebody's a professional chef, I bet they're a better cook than me. If somebody's a professional fighter, I bet they're probably a better fighter than me. It's not that crazy. It's not a big L to admit this.
Cool to just stay at home and keep it all online.
The full video here from Willie Mack is an absolute masterpiece on laying out every pathetic thing that Sneako has ever done, said, or everything ever. So I highly recommend checking it out. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's a banger. So, as you can see, the people he's confident in fighting are ones that he feels confident he'd win against. I'm 5'6". I think he's 6'1".
Yeah.
So the height advantage he feels very confident with. And he has every...
Keep in mind, I think Tyson was only 5'9", and he beat the fuck out of people that were like 6'4". Okay? So it's like, I've seen boxing like where height advantage is not as much of an advantage as you might think. But yeah, in general, this is true.
Reason to. He would probably beat me in a fight. But like I said, that doesn't change anything. Everything I've said is still true. You are a cuck, self-admitted, and you have defended cuties publicly, which, by more than just me, by many, is considered child porn. You're pathetic. Beating me in a fight doesn't change any of those facts. I've also been super vocal about how I don't want to fight. Like,
fuck that, yeah. Like, what if I got punched in the head and I got a concussion? That would suck. I don't want to take that risk. Yeah, it's not worth it. Why would I do that?
I'm not afraid to say, like, I don't want to get hit in the head.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm afraid of taking headshots.
Fuck
it's probably
that.
a super normal fear to have. So I'm averse to going into a boxing match, especially one that's just a clout-driven spectacle like this. That'd be completely fucking worthless. And I've been super open about that, which I'm sure you know since you keep saying that you've watched my content, so you probably know that I was never going to accept the fight in the first place. Especially since you're like...
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I mean, it's not like this is Jack Reacher, or fucking... this isn't the Expendables. Usually whenever you get in a fight with somebody, even if you beat them, you take a few hits. And it's like, yeah, Tectone. So, like, the thing is, I remember I was talking to Tectone about this because we did the podcast. Tectone, like, it was boxing Cinny, okay? Is Cinny a professional fighter? Fuck no. And Cinny accidentally punched Tectone in the back of the head, and Tectone has, like, a bruise on his brain. Do you think I want that in my life? Do you think I even want the chance of that happening in my life? Fucking no. Absolutely not.
Significantly taller than me, right? Like, it wouldn't make any sense. And even though you would probably beat me in a fight, you're certainly not beating me in, like, an aesthetic physique competition, because goddamn, I blow your ass out of the water. Look at this fucking anime character physique I'm rocking.
The picture that
Meanwhile,
I saw.
you're over here with that Abercrombie and Fitch from 1998.
Yeah.
Now, in Sneako's credit,
What happened to
he
his
did
stomach?
start going to the gym recently. Maybe I inspired him, and you know what? That's great. I'm glad I can have a positive impact on your life like that, Sneako. Getting into the gym is a fantastic thing, and you're going to feel so much better. And I know you'll start seeing results soon as long as you keep at it. And then finally, our last exchange goes very similarly to the others.
Yeah.
You're not special from the other 10 soy boys who say the same thing. If you got a problem, stop talking on the internet. Let's solve it. So I said, got your Discord still working on responses? Brother, I have no problem. You started it and I made fun of you in return. You're upset about publicly admitting
Yeah, it's like it's like Sneako's the one that's like continuing this shit. Because I remember whenever the first time this happened, and it's like usually Charlie makes videos on drama instantaneously. And I even noticed the fact that he didn't make a drama video about the Sneako thing for like a whole week.
cuckoldry and get mad at me for bringing it up. You should be mad at yourself instead. Have some self-reflection. Which it's true. I don't have a problem. You literally started it, Sneako, and you even asked your audience to let me know everything you said and send me your clips. You actually asked for a response, and then got super upset when my response was a little too mean to your feelings. How is that not the ultimate cuckoldry? Like, even more so than your girl getting clapped by 1,000 men. How? Like, how can you, with a straight face, still call other people soy boys? I'm not kidding. I really didn't want to keep talking.
This is how a lot of these people are. And they're always like, they have a lot of talk and they'll get really into things and they'll be super alpha about stuff. And then the moment that they're actually pushed on something, suddenly things are different. Absolutely.
About you, but you won't stop talking and crying about me. It's sad. I understand you have a humiliation fetish, so hopefully this whole thing has helped you orgasm one more time from all of it. I don't think it's fun dunking on you, Sneako. I don't. And I'm certainly not canceling you. But you keep doing this. So you forced my hand to make fun of you again. But anyway, that's about it. See ya.
Oh my god.
Watch my clip.
It's just... Oh my god. This is just... It's just so... This whole thing is just so ridiculous. It's like a cartoon character. Doesn't he have a comeback video? I bet he does. Yes, 100%. Do you think it's better to ignore this or capitalize on the content? I think that people like Sneako... This is why I am not a fan of banning people from platforms. Is that I think that the worst thing that can happen to somebody like this is for people to hear what he has to say. That's the worst thing that can happen. Is for like a general public to actually hear what this guy is saying and be able to respond to it. So no, I think that it should be used for content. If you put your opinion out there, if you're putting yourself out there, I mean, there's a line. There's always a line where things go too far. But I don't think anything in this video is over the line. I'll tell you that. That's no big deal. Especially in the context of like these guys like insulting, like him threatening, like like what's this with a gun? Like what is this, man? Like this is some fucking like that's nuts. Like what? Who does this? Yeah. Giving him free exposure, and to be honest, he might have a humiliation kink. Good for him. I don't care. People have probably watched my stream and jerked off before. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't give a fuck. It's just crazy that people get so caught up in this. This guy gets so mad. No, yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Maybe I'm just weird, but it just doesn't affect me at all. But yeah, anyway, it's just, I think that absolutely this guy should be should be called out for this kind of stuff. I think this is, again, like this is an officer wellness check situation. This seems really, really weird, man. Yeah. Oh, against handling some effort, was he? Generally the most surprising thing I've seen in a while. Yeah, I mean, doesn't Charlie live in Florida? Of course he has guns. I mean, come on. That's like what you have to do whenever you live there. About to be added to the list. He's going to show his gun and call you a loser. Oh, good, great. More content for me. Yeah. You got things to do. Unfortunately, there's constant societal demand for Andrew Tate types, Sneako types, so people like that keep making content. Unfortunate. Well, the problem is that, like, they keep making content, and I think that people like Andrew Tate have fallen off quite a bit ever since they got exposed to a, like, you know, you have like the initial boom of like, hey, this is a person, they're making content, and like this is what they think. But as soon as that content like enters the free marketplace of ideas, it goes into the garbage. Once it hits a wider audience and people see, oh, okay, so this guy's telling everybody what they should do with their relationship, but he's sitting there crying because his girlfriend's getting fucked by another guy. Yeah, I don't think I want to listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So these people are really good at thriving in a very small niche and in a very small community of people that is like it's like some weird like secondary community or something like that. But what the problem is that whenever you put that out to a wide audience, then everybody sees how stupid it is, including the people that used to watch it. Because they don't really get any pushback. They don't get anybody responding to them on you know, YouTube or on Rumble or whatever, because it's just full of other people that agree with them. Does that make sense? Sneako deserved to be banned for some of the bad things he did on his channel. Well, I don't like, I don't know like every single thing he's ever done on his channel. Okay, I don't know, but all I'm saying is that I do think that it's important to talk about stuff like this, and if you want to put ideas out there on the internet, it's okay for other people to respond to them. People respond to my ideas, and they don't like them all the time, and that's just how it is. You know, I'll ban somebody if they're rude to me about it in my stream. Yeah, sure. But, I mean, there's YouTube videos that are critical of me all the time. Sure, that's just how it is, man. Death threats, so his ban was 100% fine. Well, I think everybody agrees with that. Sure, some kinks deserve to be shamed. I agree. Non-consensual kinks deserve to be shamed. Everything else, I think, is totally fine. As long as it's between two consenting adults, it's very hard for me to think of something that should be that should be shamed or whatever. Anyway, this was, I can see why this video was so popular. I absolutely can. Because I think that a lot of people are just tired of these, you know, fake macho guys on the internet that act like this, and it's just that. It's acting. People are fucking tired of seeing this. It's been going on for a whole year now. It's exhausting. Just stop it. What are your thoughts? What's this here? Concept of reacts? Oh, I love reacts. I do them all the time. Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, I've been doing these for fucking years. It's been going on forever. They're called Mags, Biggest Dick Energy for 2023, calling it now. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Remember Liver King? Well, Liver King is another example. And this is like, Liver King is like, oh yeah, the fucking 9 ancestral tenets, and you know, you're gonna shit and you won't need to wipe, and you want to eat raw meat all the time. And it's like, oh god, you know, it's another one of these fucking guys. And it turns out it's like this is a character that he made, and he actually made a lot of money because his wife, or like they had like a dentistry practice, and he's actually taking like $15,000 worth of steroids a month to look like this. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's just so annoying. It's so fucking annoying to see people like this, and to see them put themselves out there, and the absolute like fakeness of the personalities. That's what I think. They sell their personality for money. Well, a lot of people do that. It's just what the personality that's being sold is. Am I been polite? Do you still scam those people? Oh yeah, for sure. The real ancestral tenets were the PEDs we took. Yeah, exactly. Got the most important thing, eating raw testicles. Yeah, and so like, I think that people like Liver King, Sneako, Andrew Tate, I'm sure there's a couple of other ones. I think people are just tired of being talked down to by like these people that have lived in a first world society and have experienced probably a relatively minimal level of hardship their whole life. They've never really been in a combat situation, in a life or death situation. And they sit around on the internet all the time talking about being a hard ass. Like, I think people are just, they don't want to hear that. Just fucking, yeah, like, they act like kids. And it's like, again, the audience of these people are mostly kids too. So it's just, I think it's seen as kind of juvenile for a lot of older people. If you're calling yourself an alpha, you aren't one. I think that's a pretty good way to start it off. Yeah, I think so. You don't want to be combat ready? I think that, like, in a world where you have guns, having big muscles doesn't really matter. That's my opinion. Nobody's stronger than a bullet. So yeah, it's just like it's like a weird, it's like this weird world that they live in that's like separate from reality. Yeah, the world is open of world PvP. Yeah, exactly. Well, if you don't have your gun on you in the grocery store, though, well, you should have brought your gun. How about that? If you're so worried about somebody beating you up and you live in a concealed carry state, then just bring the fucking gun if you're that terrified. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah, big iron. Yeah, exactly. What is this? It's just so weird for people like to focus on this kind of stuff. It's crazy. And in Texas, we carry swords. It's much cooler. Well, the reality is, like, you know, if you're a guy, I mean, the truth is that, you know, all people are not created equal. Like, if you're 5'6", somebody who's 6'8" probably has like a insurmountable physical advantage over you. There's like no way that you're probably going to beat that person unless it's like some like massive difference or something like that. It's just probably not going to happen. It's like and this is also men to men. Like, if you're a 5'6" woman and it's a 6'2" guy and you're not like an MMA champion, you're going to have a bad time. That's not my fault. I didn't do that. God did. So it's so simple-minded. Even an MMA champion would get ragdolled? I have no idea. I think it depends on the two people. But all I'm saying is that a lot of that kind of stuff is, there's only so much you can do. There's a reason why there are weight classes in boxing. Okay? Kick him in the nuts and run? Yeah. Better to solve conflicts with muscles than guns? I think it's better to solve conflicts just by having a conversation about it and being like, okay, you know, like if your idea to solve a conflict, I have no problem with self-defense. If somebody initiates violence on you, I think that you are in the right to solve that problem however you want. But if you are the person who is initiating physical violence on another person who is not actively threatening your life, you are the problem. You can't have a world like that. It's just, yeah, things just, they can't work that way.
A truth, what needed, truth.